So the story kicks off on this deserted island where a plane straight up crashes. And this plane belongs to an American soldier. A little while later, the soldier parachutes down safe and sound. But the second he touches down, he spots another plane hauling ass toward the ground. And this one belongs to a Japanese soldier. As soon as the Japanese soldier lands, these two dudes clock each other and immediately pull out their weapons. See, this was during World War II, and Japan and America were beefing hard. So these two go at it, throwing hands and fighting their way up to this tall ridge. Right when the Japanese soldier is about to take out the American dude, out of nowhere, two massive hands pop up right in front of both of them. Then, this absolutely ginormous gorilla shows up, and both of them are like, what the hell? Completely losing their minds. Now the story jumps straight to 1973, and we're outside the White House where we see this dude named Randall, the head honcho of a research company. Randall's there to meet with a big-shot government official, and he's asking for permission to go to this mysterious island. Turns out, Randall had already tracked down the exact same island where those two soldiers landed at the beginning, and now he wants to go do research there. But to pull this off, Randall desperately needs a military squad and some serious cash. So he's hitting up this politician for all that stuff. Randall's like, yo, if we're the first ones to crack the secrets of this island and put it out there for the world, we're gonna be filthy rich. On top of that, Randall tells the politician they gotta move fast because Russia's already caught wind of this island too. He's like, we're running out of time, bro. If we don't get there first, the Russians are gonna beat us to it and cash in on everything. Hearing all that, the politician agrees and hooks Randall up with a military squad, and the commander's name is Preston. Along with that, Randall also recruits this dude who's an expert tracker and guide, and his name is Conrad. Now with the whole crew assembled, everybody loads up onto a big ship and heads out toward the island. The soldiers on the ship are vibing hard, checking out the gorgeous ocean views, feeling real good about life. But these poor dudes had absolutely no clue that their good vibes were about to turn into a total nightmare, because the island they're heading to is straight up deadly. They also brought along a photographer to snap pics of the island and show the world, and her name is Vicky. After traveling a ways on the ship, they get close to the island, and that's when Randall calls over the military commander and says, look, there's a gnarly storm up ahead. If we try to ride through it on the ship, we're all gonna die. So we're gonna ditch the ship here and fly through the storm in helicopters to reach the island. With no other option, the commander agrees, and they all load up into a bunch of choppers and head straight into the storm. The second they hit the eye of the storm, there's insane winds rocking their helicopters all over the place, and on top of that, lightning striking left and right. But somehow, these guys manage to push through and make it out the other side. And when they come out of the storm, what they see literally blows their minds. This absolutely gorgeous, lush green island is right in front of them, something none of them had ever seen in their entire lives. After reaching the island, they get right to work and start dropping bombs on the ground from the choppers to figure out if the earth underneath is hollow or not. But the bombs are causing massive explosions on the ground, killing a ton of animals, and these people couldn't care less. They're actually hyped about it. Then, out of freaking nowhere, some unknown force chucks a massive tree right at one of their helicopters, and it gets absolutely wrecked. Everybody's faces go white with fear, and they're still trying to figure out who the heck ripped a whole tree out of the ground and threw it, when suddenly a gigantic hand comes out and crushes another one of their choppers like it's a toy. And then they see something that shakes them to their core. Standing right in front of them is this absolutely massive gorilla named Kong. And Kong is the king of this entire jungle. For a few moments, Kong just chills and doesn't hurt anybody, but the military commander underestimates Kong and orders his squad to light him up. The soldiers start unloading rounds on Kong from the helicopters, but the bullets don't do jack to him, and then Kong loses it. He goes full beast mode on the choppers, smashing and swatting them out of the sky one after another. After destroying all the helicopters, Kong bounces, but the commander is standing there, staring at Kong with pure rage in his eyes, because Kong took out a bunch of his guys. Now everybody's scattered all over the jungle. One group member named Conrad, the tracker guide dude, links up with a few others, and they form their own little squad and start moving forward. Meanwhile, on the other side, the commander marches straight up to Randall and shoves a gun in his face, saying, "Spill it. Why the hell did you bring us here?" That's when Randall comes clean with the whole truth. He's like, 30 years ago, I was on a ship with my crew, and we accidentally stumbled onto this island after getting lost. But then some terrifying monster attacked our ship. and killed every single one of my people. I was the only one who made it out alive. When I went back and told the government about this island, nobody believed me, so I decided I'd come back here myself and expose the truth to the whole world, so people know that there are still some massive creatures out there, and if they ever reach us, we're all screwed. That's why I want to warn the government, so when these monsters come for us, we're ready to throw down. On the other side, the rest of the crew is trekking through the jungle, and when they reach a riverbank, they see this absolutely enormous buffalo right in front of them. They all freak the hell out and immediately point their guns at it, but Conrad tells everybody to lower their weapons and says, "Chill, this buffalo ain't gonna hurt us." The moment they lower their guns, the buffalo turns around and walks off the other way. Meanwhile, the commander's squad is pushing through the jungle, and when they enter this thick bamboo forest, a giant spider attacks them. But bullets barely faze the thing. The commander yells at his soldiers, "Aim for the legs!" Once they start hitting its legs, the spider weakens and comes down, and they all dogpile it with bullets and take it out. That's when it hits everybody. This ain't no regular jungle. This place is crawling with every kind of deadly creature you can think of. Right then, a bunch of natives show up and surround them from all sides. The soldiers point their guns at the natives too, just as both sides are about to throw down. This weird-looking dude with a long beard and mustache steps out from the natives. His name is Hank, and Hank is the same guy we saw falling out of the plane at the very beginning of the story. Hank's been living here with these natives for the past 28 years. Hank steps forward and tells everyone, "Put your guns down. These people ain't gonna do nothing to you." Everybody listens to Hank. Hank is over the moon seeing all of them because he hasn't seen a single person from the outside world in 28 freaking years. On the other side, there's a lone soldier who got separated from his squad. Just as he's about to drink water from the river, he hears some movement, and suddenly, Kong is standing right in front of him. The soldier's blood runs cold. Kong starts walking toward him, and the terrified soldier ducks behind a rock to hide. Kong totally sees the soldier, but doesn't do anything to him. This tells us that Kong doesn't kill anyone without a reason. After that, Kong sits down in the water and starts checking out the wounds on his body, which are clearly causing him a lot of pain. Humans gave him those wounds. Kong scoops up some water to drink, but right then, a massive octopus thinks Kong is weakened and attacks him, wrapping itself all around his body. But Kong just grabs the octopus's head with his hand and crushes it, then rips off one of its tentacles and starts munching on it. After that, Kong drags the octopus away for dinner. Seeing all this, the soldier realizes just how insanely powerful Kong is. On the other side, Hank takes the rest of the group to an old shipwreck, and when they go inside, they see the natives have built a temple inside the ship where they worship. Hank explains that the natives consider Kong their god because Kong protects all of them. He says if Kong wasn't around, we'd all be dead a long time ago, because there are these terrifying lizard creatures hiding underground that are super dangerous and ready to kill humans at any moment. But because of Kong, those lizards can't touch us. Hank goes on to explain, when you guys flew in on your choppers and dropped bombs on this island, you killed a bunch of animals, which is why Kong got pissed and attacked you. Also, your bombs caused a bunch of lizards to crawl out from underground, but Kong took them all out. If Kong hadn't killed those lizards right then, they would have wiped all of you out and crawled right back underground. Then Hank asks Conrad, "So why'd you guys come here anyway?" Conrad says, "We came to do research on this island, and now we know the full truth about this place, so we gotta head back. But the choppers Kong trashed were our only ride, so now we gotta hoof it on foot to the north side of the island where our ship's waiting for us." Hearing this, Hank says, "If y'all try to walk north, it's gonna take you weeks to get there, but I got a boat. It's got some issues though. If you guys can fix it up, we can get to the north side way faster." Conrad's down with that, and everybody pitches in to fix the boat. Meanwhile, Vicky starts snapping pictures of the native people, and they're cracking up seeing their own faces on the camera. Then somebody removes a helicopter wreckage from the head of that massive buffalo, setting it free, and that somebody is none other than Kong himself. Vicky gets spooked seeing him. Kong doesn't do anything to Vicky, but he gives her this cold, resentful look and walks off. Seeing that, Vicky gets it. Kong's got beef with humans because humans are the ones who hurt him. Now the boat's all fixed up, and after living with the natives for 28 years, Hank says his final goodbye to them and hops on the boat with everyone else to head out. On the other side, we see that lone soldier who got separated from his group. He's sitting on top of what he thinks is a fallen tree, but then the tree starts moving. The soldier jumps up real quick quick and realizes this ain't no tree. It's a living creature. The creature moves toward him to attack, and the soldier grabs his gun and starts blasting it. But bullets don't do squat to this thing. Still, the creature tucks its head in and starts backing off. See, the creature had sensed the real danger coming, and the moment the soldier turns around, a massive lizard swoops in and swallows him whole. After traveling all night on the boat, morning comes, and they've covered a ton of ground. And lucky for them, their radio starts working again. A soldier contacts the commander's group. Both groups figure out where each other is, and the soldier tells the commander, "We're gonna be at your location real soon." After connecting with the other team, everybody's feeling good. But then a giant bat swoops in and snatches up one of their crew members. And right before everyone's eyes on the boat, the bat rips their buddy to shreds. Everybody's traumatized, and they pull the boat up to the riverbank. But the commander flat out refuses to go back to the ship. He says, "I gotta go west because one of my soldiers is out there. His name's Davis." See, the commander didn't know that Davis was already dead. Hank tries real hard to talk some sense into the commander, saying, "Don't go west, man. That place is crawling with lizards. They'll smoke us the second they see us." But the commander ain't leaving his guy behind no matter what. So everybody's forced to tag along with the commander and head west. Before they know it, they reach the western zone, and they come across this big open field full of massive animal skulls. Hank tells everybody these skulls belong to Kong's family. The lizards killed them. As they're walking through, they start hearing these creepy sounds, and everybody takes off running and hides behind the giant skulls. Then a massive lizard rolls up and gets real close to them, and it pukes up a human skull. Conrad checks the military badge attached to the skull and realizes this is the skull of that soldier Davis, the very dude the commander dragged them all here to find. As soon as the lizard turns the other way, everybody books it out of there. But the lizard picks up their scent real quick, catches up, and swallows one of their guys whole. They all unload on the giant lizard, but the lizard uses the fog to duck back and hide. These guys know the lizard's gonna sneak attack them again, so they set up and get ready. When the lizard comes back for round 2, a soldier opens up on it with a machine gun, spraying rounds all over it, but the bullets barely do anything, and the lizard snatches the soldier with its tongue and swallows him alive. After killing that soldier, the lizard goes after Vicky, but she weaves through the massive skulls and manages to dodge it. During all this chaos, a fire breaks out and sets off the gas grenades, spreading toxic gas everywhere. And as if the giant lizard wasn't enough, a swarm of bats shows up and starts attacking them too. But Conrad throws on a gas mask and goes full samurai mode, slicing up bats with a sword. The lizard sees everybody distracted by the bats and uses the opportunity to attack, but one of the soldiers hits it with a flamethrower, torching the lizard until it burns to death. After the lizard's done, everybody regroups and agrees they gotta bounce from this island and get back to their ship, but the commander still ain't having it and says, "I'm finding my man no matter what." That's when Conrad pulls out the military badge and says, "The guy you're looking for is already dead." Hearing that, the commander's got no more excuses, and he finally shows his true colors. Turns out, the commander didn't drag everyone out here to find his soldier. He wanted to kill Kong. The commander says, "Kong killed a bunch of my guys, and I'm getting payback no matter what." Everybody tries to reason with him, saying, "Kong's not the bad guy here. He's actually protecting us from those lizards. If you take Kong out, the lizards are gonna crawl out of the ground and wipe us all out." But the commander's a stubborn, no-good piece of work and won't listen to anybody. So Conrad makes the call. "We're heading back to the ship. If you want to go after Kong, that's on you. Go solo." Now the group splits into 2 squads again, and the soldiers are stuck following their commander. Meanwhile, Conrad's crew is pushing through the jungle, but can't figure out which direction to go. So Conrad and Vicky decide to climb the hill up ahead and look for their ship from the top. They start climbing and reach the peak pretty quick. They can't spot their ship, but then Kong shows up right in front of them. Both of them freeze like statues, completely still, because they know if they make one wrong move in front of Kong, it's game over. Kong gets super close to them and just stares. Vicky musters up all her courage and places her hand on Kong's body, and Kong doesn't do anything. That's when Vicky knows for sure that Kong doesn't want to hurt humans. Meanwhile, the commander and his boys set up a trap for Kong. They dump fuel in the river and light the water on fire. The commander detonates landmines buried in the ground, and Kong starts burning. Once again, the commander manages to tick Kong off, But this time, the fire weakens Kong bad, and he crashes to the ground. The commander starts planting bombs around Kong to blow him sky high. But before he can pull it off, Conrad, Hank, and Vicky show up. All three of them point their guns at the commander and say, "We ain't letting you kill Kong, because that would be the biggest mistake of your life. If Kong dies, the biggest, baddest lizard hiding underground is gonna crawl out and end every single one of us." But the commander doesn't give a damn about what anyone says, and he orders his soldiers, "Take them all out." But now even his own soldiers turn on him, because they've figured out that Kong ain't the enemy. The real enemy is that massive lizard living underground. Right then, a ginormous lizard bursts out of the river because it sensed that Kong is weakened. Hank tells everyone that's the one. That's the terrifying giant lizard that's been sleeping underground this whole time. Everybody sees the lizard and jets out of there, but the commander stays put because he wants to blow up both Kong and the lizard. Just as the commander's about to hit the detonator button, Kong snaps back to consciousness and crushes the commander with his bare hand. After that, a brutal throwdown between Kong and the lizard begins. They're going blow for blow, hammering each other with everything they got. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew starts sprinting toward their boat, but then more lizards start chasing them down. One soldier grabs grenades in both hands and waves the lizard over to him. His plan is, when the lizard tries to eat him, he'll blow himself up and take the lizard with him. But the lizard's too slick for that and figures out his game. It whips him away with its tail and kills him. After that, the lizard goes after the rest of the group, and just as it's about to take them out, Kong comes flying in from behind and smashes a huge boulder right on the lizard's dome. Everybody uses the opening to run. Kong and the lizard go at it again. Round 2, the lizard goes for Kong's throat, but Kong manages to break free and slams the lizard into a cliff face. But the lizard ain't quitting. It comes right back at Kong with everything it's got. On the other side, Vicky's standing on a cliff edge firing a flare gun, trying to signal the people on the ship. The fight between Kong and the lizard is still raging. The lizard picks Kong up and slams him onto an old wrecked ship, and Kong gets all tangled up in chains, completely stuck. The lizard moves in for the kill, but right then, one of the squad members opens fire on the lizard with a machine gun. The lizard gets heated, drops Kong, and goes after the soldier instead. Right as the lizard gets close to the soldier, Vicky fires a flare round and nails the lizard right in the head, pulling its attention toward her. Meanwhile, Kong puts everything he's got into breaking those chains and rips them apart. Then Kong spots a propeller attached to a chain and picks it up like a weapon. He swings the chain and drives the propeller straight into the lizard's gut, and the lizard drops. After that, Kong picks the lizard up again and smashes it into the cliff. But the impact from the collision knocks Vicky off the edge, and she falls into the water, starting to drown. But before she goes under for good, Kong reaches his hand into the water and pulls her out. Just as Kong opens his palm to set Vicky down on the shore, the lizard attacks him from behind again. Kong's struggling because he's got Vicky in one hand, so he's fighting with just one arm. The lizard goes straight for the hand Vicky's in, trying to eat it, but Kong shoves his entire hand down the lizard's throat, grabs its tongue, and rips the whole thing clean out. And just like that, the terrifying giant lizard is finally dead. Kong gently opens his palm and sees Vicky lying there motionless. Seeing that, Kong carefully sets her down real gentle-like, but then Vicky starts breathing again. Turns out she wasn't dead. She'd just passed out. When Vicky comes to, Kong looks back at her one last time, then turns around and walks away. Now everybody piles into the boat and starts heading back. They all make a pact with each other. Once they leave this island, they're never telling the government about this place, because if the government finds out about Kong, they'll come snatch him up for experiments. So this island needs to stay exactly the way it is. At the very end of the story, we see Hank finally making it home after a full 28 years. At first, Hank thinks his wife won't even recognize him, but the second she sees him, even after 28 years, she runs up and wraps her arms around him. His son's all grown up now too, and Hank's dream of seeing his boy again finally comes true. And that's where the story ends.